Welcome to the Orange Flag Podcast. Get Rory to an IMSA race. Follow Earl Bamber on Instagram. I'm Nicole.
I'm Austin.
I'm Aries.
I'm Rory from Rory Talks Motorsport.
Yes, so we have Rory of Get Rory to Petite/an IMSA race. Follow Earl on Instagram. Also of meme legend, Instagram live legend. If you listen to our show, you've obviously heard a lot about Rory. And it just made sense to have him on. So, you're a friend of all of us, fellow member in all of our group chats. So great to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I've been on other podcasts, but this is my first sports car podcast.
Nice. I know that your, fame didn't start out necessarily with sports cars. Can you kind of just give everybody a rundown of who you are and how you got to where you're, having a fake online beef with Earl Bamber?
I was an F1 meme lord for a while. I started off on Twitter doing memes, famously with WTF1, when Matt Gallagher used to have tweet of the week. I won tweet of the week for Brazil in 2021, so I got this Fanatec wheel, which is worth €300. So it's just it's behind me at the moment, or in front of me. Sorry, camera wise. But yeah, and I was kind of like that, and then I said I'll start an Instagram page. Why not? I actually never had Instagram up to that point, so I said I'll just make an Instagram page. That was back 2023, so my page was started June 23. It took a while I got a few viral hits. Viral for me back then was 50k, and or 50k, and then it was skyrocketed. But I kind of my goal with it was just to keep posting, and then every day consistently 2 or 3 times a day. Then burnout happened, but I was about 24 was when I was getting millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes on F1 content creation, but I was starting to lose love with F1. Also with that, I was also running Twitter Spaces for F1 communities, so I was talking for 3 to 9 hours on Spaces with online friends, and that was a great experience. Kind of like mini podcasting, but it's no record. You can't edit it really.
Yeah.
You just say stuff. I think one of the famous I remember in the space we came up with. Do you know the time the Alex Plo McLaren situation with all the drivers? Yeah. We came up with a McLaren. It was a McLaren pyramid scheme. It was Zach Brown was having the McLaren pyramid scheme of drivers, so that happened.
Incredible.
And then I did a few other F1 pods of my own, or with other friends of the community I kind of found like that. But then it was because with sports cars, I always knew sports cars existed. I watched the famous 2023 Le Mans when Eurosport was a thing. I could watch it for free. But yeah, that was my first actual race I watched of endurance. But I properly started watching it when IMSA started doing YouTube streams. And then I made the decision in 25 of January to cover Daytona and then just watch any sports car I could. And that's when the kind of page decided to become hybrid in the sense of what I was watching, I was memeing. But I still watch F1, but I don't meme it anymore because I don't enjoy. I could be getting my algorithm will be liking loads of I'll be getting lots of likes, lots more views, but I kind of don't enjoy memeing it. But yeah, I know I'm just fully sports cars, and the only time I meme F1 is when I diss F1. So
well, that's kind of like us. When we started the podcast, we were well, if we talk about F1, we get better numbers. But we all watch F1. I watched. Well, I sort of watched. I fell asleep for some of it, but I watched the race at Zandvoort this weekend. But it's not my thing that I think I can do an hour's worth of content on every single week. I don't think any of us on here are just passionate about F1 the way we are about sports cars.
Definitely not.
And also, it feels like F1, like the side of F1 social media and everything, also just feels like there's so many people that do it that it's like overcrowded in a sense, is like the best way to describe it, to where it's like it's so overcrowded and overpopulated that it's like almost too much. Like it feels like it's almost overcovered. And like it just makes it not as fun to talk about anymore, because it's like you hear the same thing like 30 gazillion times phrased basically the same exact way.
Yeah, for me, I can say it's more of a even more so of a personal thing. It's not even related to making content about it, but like I just lost interest at some point last year because it just started getting like way too much, way too repetitive, and like this whole thing we are always discussing. Well, there's how many races is too much, and then it just became too much for me and just became something I check the highlights on after pretty much every other weekend. Like I stopped making an effort to actively follow each race like as it happens. I'm just like, okay, I'll check the highlights later. If there's usually something more interesting going on. So yeah.
Yeah. I was up to 2023. I was watching every practice session, every qualifying session, every race. But this year, I'll watch qualifying. Like it depends if it's a new track. Like we're going to maybe the new Spanish track. We're going to watch a practice session there just to see what it's like to get like
Yeah.
an early taster of it. But like for Zandvoort, there I just watched qualifying and the race itself. That's it. And
I
Yeah, I
watched
was gonna.
first practice at Zandvoort just because I'm a Alonso fan, and obviously this was the race that like Aston was supposedly bringing like big upgrades. So if there's, but same thing, like if there's some specific reason, I'll watch first practice and then maybe qualifying, but definitely the race.
Yeah, I was gonna
The
say. I, I was like the same way, where I used to watch like every practice session qualifying the race. I even used to like watch F2, F3 to like see like feeder series who's like the up and coming stars. And now I'm like,
None of them
it's
are. It
luck.
doesn't matter.
None of them are, and also like now it's even like a good day if I even catch qualifying. And like part of that is like I usually am working when it's on. So like part of it is like I'm working
Likewise.
through most of the race weekend, so I can't watch it quite the way I used to. But the other part is also it's just like I'm not as into it as I used to be. It's not
yeah.
as exciting and enjoyable as it used to be.
I'm the opposite. I still watch F2 and F3. I think I've watched more F2 practice sessions than F1 this year.
Really?
I just like the chaos of F2. And
Yeah.
Exactly.
there's Alex Dunn, who's an Irish driver in it, so I keep an eye out on him. So just to see, but it's just chaos. It's just the kids driving in F2.
Chaos.
For me, it's really weird watching racing on TV because, like, obviously, how much in-person racing I've seen this year. It's like even at VIR, like I was like, man, I'm like dozing off. I'm getting distracted. Like I feel like I've got this like addiction to in-person race attendance, which I'm not going to be able to do what I'm doing this year every year for the rest of my life. So I need to like break that addiction. But it's just it's interesting.
Some might call that a first world problem.
Yeah, that's about as first world problem as it gets, honestly.
If you
Um,
catch the double meaning of what I'm saying,
yes, I
good on
do.
you. Ah,
um,
Coda's coming.
It is. It is. I didn't realize how soon it was until a friend of ours in one of the group chats just was like, I'm leaving next Friday. And I'm like, oh crap, I haven't booked my hotel yet. I should probably do that. The thing
Yeah.
is, like, Austin doesn't even sell out hotels on F1 weekend when there's also a UT game, football game playing. American football, not like soccer.
I'm
And
familiar. I'm familiar with NFL. I actually started watching it last year, and I understand
nice.
I understand the basics. I don't support anyone, but I just watch it because it's like a group of friends watching. I just background noise
That's
for me.
awesome.
So you're saying you're cultured, basically. I have no idea what you're talking about. I just nod and pretend to understand.
We
Aries
need to
is still
find you some
confused.
streams this fall for football games, Aries.
Oh no, I have streams. I may or not watch them on Discord with friends. Definitely does not happen.
Hook Aries up. Hook Aries up
I
with
was about
these
to say,
streams so we can get him learning about NFL.
We're all on Discord, so why in the world not?
I was about to say,
Aries, do you
I
have
was
a
gonna say
VPN?
my
Yes, he
team.
does.
For sure.
Yeah, my team has like a huge fan base like in Brazil to where they have like a whole Brazil like fan sector thing of streaming and stuff. So maybe I'll just send that to you.
Yeah, if you stream to if you travel to Ireland for a bit, like just for some travels, you can watch the NFL for free for select games.
Teleportation. See, I knew Rory was just going to be a perfect fourth host for an episode. Like, I knew this was going to work. This is fantastic. Yes. I think the thing that everybody that listens to the show knows you from and about is like the get Rory to Petite, follow Earl on Instagram stuff. Bring us through how that started. I mean, I know because you like were running all that stuff by me as you were deciding to do it, but like, let everybody know how you came up with that idea and like how it progressed to where it is now.
I went on a whim and I did not tell Earl I was doing this. I told Earl's partner, Rebecca, at the time that I'm doing this, and we agreed we're going to do this. And I said I would tag Earl, and I posted it. So I did the graphic, I posted it. Just got a few hundred likes at the time, and I went off. I have notifications on Instagram. I only have them on them for like tags and messages, because if I did likes, I would have my phone would be dead. But yeah, I came back to Earl Bamber's comment saying get Rory to Petite. I did not expect Earl to do this. I went rogue. I did not tell him. He did this himself. I'm surprised he's able to comment on Instagram, considering how useless he is at Instagram.
He has gotten significantly better at Instagram in the past 6 months. I've got to give that to him.
He's got better, but he's had help. Let's just say that.
I was about to say, I'm not putting that by Earl. I don't think it's really Earl.
I got my 2.5k followers in 2 days. The war has slowed down. It has slowed down. I had a window, I think, but we still fight on somehow. In other news, I'm going to completely sidetrack. I am going to a race this year, exclusive.
Yes.
An exclusive on the podcast because I haven't publicly announced it yet. I am going to Barcelona in October. So yeah, I will be there. If anyone wants to meet up, I'll happily meet up. It's gonna be weird. Do you know when you're because I run a meme page. I only announced myself on the internet like you could see me physically, like my face. Until I met Earl, where I just an admin reveal where I just dropped a photo of me and Earl, and people are calling it the admin reveal of all time. I don't think it was, but it was just a photo. I have a funny story about that photo. So I took that photo with Earl, and because I had to crop it, because at the restaurant there was these two guys, oh my god, they knew what they were doing. They saw I was taking a photo, and the two of them just put their thumbs up like this. So I went into my Apple editing, and I just I don't like AI, but I had to use this AI to get rid of it. So I erased them, and I had to crop it. But yeah, they knew what they were doing, and I erased the dedication. So yeah, I will be at Barcelona. I have told Nicole, I have told you, I've told some other people in the paddock that I'm going, but I'll probably do a post tomorrow that I will be going. So yeah, it's gonna be weird because I've watched all my races on TV, so it's gonna be weird watching it in person.
It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
been there, done it.
I'm going to have to. I will meme from the paddock. I don't know how it's going to work. It will be sporadic memes. I'll do some in-person memes instead. get some do some TikToks. I'm actually not that's counterintuitive. I don't have TikTok, so I'll do Instagram Reels instead.
I was about to say, Reels is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. But TikTok sounds a bit more luxurious when you say instead of Reels. So
it does.
But
I will say, when it comes to like posting things from the paddock, it's like so hit or miss on like if it works or not, and that's just because like connection. It's like
forget to post things from the paddock. Like, if it's not me crashing one of your lives, we're lucky if anybody gets any content from me at the paddock. When I do remember to do it, it does really well. Like,
Yeah.
unloading the cars, or one thing, because I have a feeling, just a hunch, that you may, get invited places by Cadillac. If they let you have your phone out, take a whole bunch of video. Because I took a whole bunch of pictures, like, here's Kevin getting ready, here's Kevin talking to Larry, here's Kevin
Nicole,
standing watching a TV.
Nicole,
I did not
are
video.
you suggesting I take photos of that Cadillac V Series R rear end and send them to Porsche Penske?
I am absolutely suggesting that. However, no, go ahead and take, because this is WEC. Go ahead, take those and send them to me, and hey, Toyota, McLaren, and Ford, I got you hooked up.
I would like to be.
Sorry, Aries, Ferrari is getting nothing.
5-8 cubed. 20 years later.
Nicole, can we split the spy photography video? Like, we both get credit on it. So,
Absolutely.
But yeah, like, look, when I go to the paddock, I'll have to, if I do go to the paddock, I don't know, but I want to be Michelin Man. I've said some things about you over the years. We need to make peace. So we need to say I have to apologize, or stare into your eyes like you stare into my eyes, and I will. We will come back to some. We will do something. I don't know.
You'll squash the beef that you guys have.
Beef, yes.
Yeah.
We will not mention a certain acronym when I'm at the race. I want to be welcome back. But yeah. This podcast has just gone unhinged.
It's fantastic. I love it.
What? But let's be honest here. When does it not?
Yes, it's true. But you have added a meme lord.
Unhinged.
You've added a meme lord who is not making memes, but is spouting nonsense in words at the moment.
I was gonna say that's just like the normal around here, so it's fine.
That's fair.
So with going to Barcelona, does that mean that Petit is not happening?
I will say it's looking unlikely. Yeah, I can't say anything about it right now because I don't know. That's my honest answer. I had people ask me, and I said I can't tell you because I don't know. If I did know, I would tell you. If the question,
right?
But no, Barcelona is the only race I know I'm going to this year, and it's probably will be the only one because I'm in college. I'm a final year student in college, so I have a thesis to do. So
yeah, that's important.
It is important. I don't want to do it, but it's an important thing to do. But yeah, Barcelona will probably be the only race I go to this year. But maybe next year we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Daytona would be cool. A lot of people are coming to Daytona.
I know Ryan's going from Satellite Podcast is going. A lot of other people. I can't think of their names. I'm sorry.
I just know a lot of people in the group chats that we're in are going to Daytona, so that would be a cool one for you to go to. And then we had, when you did your little I'm going to be on the podcast, you said, if you have any questions, and you got 2 questions. So the first question is from Dean, and they say, "Hi Rory, just curious about something. What made you have interest in motorsports in general? Also, how long to make one meme post?"
I'll answer the first part. I grew up watching Top Gear. I always knew the
Yes.
collaborations in Top Gear, so I knew about F1, I knew about Rally. I never actually, like I mentioned, I started watching F1 in 2016, so that's when I actually started watching motorsport, like regularly, and like it took over my life. Um, I think like I've always watched, like I've always known like rallying exists because like the local rally would come into town and you go up and take photos, walk around the cars. And so yeah, that's really how I got into it. Like I've always known it, like I've always known subconsciously it's there, but I've actually never, like I've never noticed it until I probably got interested. But now memes are like my bread and butter. It's one of the good things on mass I can do quickly. It's I like some memes. If I know the idea, I have the screen grab or whatever and the title. I can make one in 5 minutes. I'll post it in a minute afterwards. Now, if it's a longer, like if it's like a video, and like say like my singing videos I did, they usually take about a few hours, and then I don't post them till like the next day if I feel like it. So memes range from 5 minutes to about half an hour. And half an hour may seem long, but it's actually very quick in meme making because when I post it, like it's like only half an hour after the instance happened. And I remember I posted a screen grab of remember it was in Daytona when the Ford had like an oil leak. And I posted like the acronym of Ford, Ford Oil Recovery Department, and
Yep.
I posted it, and 2 minutes later, the Multimatic admin replied, "Too soon." It was very quick. So I've been known to be posting a lot of things very quickly, and
Yeah.
sometimes they age badly in a sense I have to delete something because I remember I at Le Mans when Cadillac got pulled and then they didn't. I had it posted and I got DM saying that has been reverted, so I had to delete it. Thankfully, it still did well, but I kind of don't like deleting posts because my algorithm doesn't like it, and it kind of affects the next post. So yeah, um, yeah. 5 minutes sometimes. Memes.
And sometimes you're brainstorming for 2 weeks on one idea.
Oh yeah,
Ask me how I know.
yeah. I'm 2 weeks, or I have a meme and I don't post it because I get scared I might get shouted at.
Right. Yeah, I
There
feel
were,
like I'm your hype man sometimes. I'm like, Rory,
yeah,
I promise you can post this.
yeah. I have told people in the paddock, and I've told you, Nicole. I was scared I was going to get cease and desist letters from certain manufacturers that I was
Yeah.
posting, so especially the war memes. I thought
Yeah.
Porsche was going to come for me and tell me stop posting.
Porsche's
Because
admins have good sense of humor. Surprising
Yeah.
for a German brand, but they really do.
yeah,
They're
funny enough, a lot of people in Germany like my memes. I think my top
yeah.
follower is like it's like 30% it's US, then it's 20% UK, then it's Germany, then it's France. And considering that I'm part around the WEC memes, I know we have a tendency to be known as Ferrari haters. I did meme a lot about Ferrari my first year of sports cars, saying that they were the galactic empire of WEC. I have 5% of my followers are from Italy, so I am bridging the peace gap between the Italians and me. So
Let's go. That's awesome. And then the second question we have is from AJ, and they ask, is there a particular reason you support Cadillac or any moment from when you started to?
well, I was thinking this myself. Like when I got the sports car, I was more of a Lamborghini S63 person. Like
Right.
because I
R.I.P.
used to meme them. Like this is a weird analogy, but like it's like a sad puppy, and you see the sad puppy, and you're like, I want you to have a better life, and that's what the S63 was, and it did. Like it didn't get put down, but it just got shipped off to another country. It's somewhere in a boarding kennel or something at the moment. But um, yeah, I'm
Got
sorry
sent to the
about that.
farm, let's be honest.
It might come back.
Yeah.
It might come back. We don't know.
It
But
might be resuscitated, it might not be.
This
It's
is
in
something
limbo right
fine.
now.
it might, yeah.
Yeah.
But with Cadillac, like caddies, like the caddy, like I've always known of the yellow caddy, 50-year friend of the show, and I knew of the sad edits Fifth Gear, or was it the unpaid intern on Twitter had like this really sad edit of like it's like the guy pushing the boulder.
Yeah.
It's just that of the
Yeah.
yellow V Series R, and I always knew the yellow caddy, so that's but actually never. And then because my first IMSA race I proper watched was the pink caddy win at Petite.
I was there
And
for that.
We were
and
there.
and like I remember being on Discord call, and we were like, "Oh my god, this Ranger has no lights. He has to. We don't know what's going on." And then like,
Oh,
yeah, it was.
don't remind me. That was a heart attack and a half.
It was
and
even
then,
worse in person because the
It
broad like
was.
the broadcast at the track made it very confusing on
They
if
were
they
like,
were
they've been meatball flagged.
Meatballed.
They have to come in, and it's like, no, they haven't.
yeah, they were making it very confusing to understand like if they were still in it or not.
Prepare the beverage, Aries. I know someone who sure wishes they had been meatball flagged.
Toast.
Once again,
Yeah.
I forgot a beverage.
He would have an IMSA win if they had been meatball flagged.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But with the caddy, then the 31 drivers, Fred, Jack, and Earl, started liking myself. Jack Aiken, you like a lot of things. You it's like Jack just likes memes. It's just funny to see what he likes, but it's cool what he likes. He's appreciated. But no, they started commenting on stuff, and then I was like, I was already following them, but like, and then they started following me, and I was like, okay. And then the famous Daytona stuff happened where I started bullying Steve, known as Connor Zillage, bullying a child. It's only correct when it's Steve.
Yes.
But that was fun. Just like Connor was sound about it, and everyone was, but that was cool. And then I just like I keep like everyone. It's kind of become an inside knowledge thing, or kind of an open it's kind of the worst secret in like the community that I'm a Cadillac fan, because like I've been in like be talking to people and saying, oh yeah, just I'm surprised Cadillac haven't done this or like that, and like I said, like that. But no, it's just funny in that sense. But no, it's appreciated. The people at Cadillac love the stuff, and it's funny. It is true. I did meme about it that they thought I was an alias employee in that company. That I was an employee posting insider stuff because it was that insider. No, I'm just that incredible. No, I'm not.
So with all of your super secret insider Cadillac knowledge, it's been confirmed that Action Express plan to bring the car back to Le Mans next year. And there's strong rumors they're going to run a second car in IMSA. What do you think that driver lineup situation's going to be? Because, like, I don't know that Fred Vesti can do a full IMSA season. I don't think he's going to give up his Mercedes role. So,
no,
who do you think could be in those cars?
I don't think Fred will. Fred will keep being the endurance driver in the 31 at least. I think Fred he still wants to be in the like F1 paddock, I think, or just be around F1 doing simulator work. Like he might reduce his sim work, but I don't know. Like it depends what he wants to do.
I think he would be lost because he practically lives in the sim. Like he would be lost if they took.
Fred is the only driver that I know that is happily will post himself in a simulator, and
right?
like he's so happy about it. It's like it's part. Jordan Taylor posts memes of like what the simulator actually is, and Fred's just there. I'm so happy about it. But it's no Fred, yeah. That like the second lineup. It depends what the driver market is like. I mean, no, Renger is still looking for a ride. It depends if you like. Does he want to go back to WEC? Does he want to do multi program? He has been in the Cadillac program before, but he hasn't driven this car, this Evo before. But yeah, like it's like I know Nicole, you and me were like kind of like back and forth in DMs, kind of trying to figure out what the situation was. I know you suggested Drugovich.
Yeah.
I don't know if
just because he has. I was trying to go through history of people who have driven the V Series R. And for me, that don't have a seat for next year. It comes down to Renger, Seb Bourdais, and Felipe Drugovich. Those are the three that I can come up with.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't complain.
I mean,
Brazilian on the grid.
that's a heck of a lineup. Renger van de Zande, Seb Bourdais, and then Felipe Drugovich is the third driver. That is a competitive, able to win races lineup right there.
Yeah, with Felipe, I know he's driven the car, like he did Le Mans one year, and he's done a few others, but like races. But I feel like Drugovich, he just wants to be a reserve driver. He's just happy enough being a sim and a reserve driver.
Yeah.
Um,
But if he only does 3 races, like, so not the way Fred is doing all
Yeah.
5 endurance races, but the way that typically drivers do endurance races, I feel like that's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
it's not a big deal, no. Like in Cadillac themselves, no. Like I know he was at Le Mans there as a reserve driver, so he's
Yeah.
in and around the program, and he's done sim work for them probably. It'd be interesting if they do two cars, because I know Action Express did the 4 lineup this year with Daytona with Connor. It'd be interesting if they had a second car, what the 4th driver would be. Who would they bring? Would they bring another Chevy kind of driver from maybe
Would
NASCAR?
they do 4 drivers?
Yeah.
I don't see. That's the thing, is I don't know if they're gonna do 4 drivers again.
I
It wouldn't
I think-
surprise me if they went back to just doing 3.
I think that was kind of a, hey, Connor, we want to give you something. Sorry you weren't able to do the WEC rookie test. Here, do Daytona, sort of thing.
Or it was basically saying to the ACO, we're going to let him drive. We're not going to.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, it's highly likely that the podium at Daytona will force an upgrade, which will allow him now to test the hypercar. So he's probably losing his silver off of that. So
Yeah.
Because I do think that podium in a major 24-hour race is one of the criteria they take into account when upgrading people. So
Yeah. Also, at least for Connor, it really seems like next year would kind of almost be, from what it sounds like at least, like his last year he'd be able to like do
for a while.
Do it for a while because Hendrick wants him to focus on Cup. So once he moves to Hendrick in 2028, they want him to really do that and win at that before they let him do side stuff. So like
Daytona
2027
is
would be the
pre-season.
last.
So I feel like he could get away with 2028 Daytona because it's before the NASCAR season starts.
Maybe.
But yeah, anything Le Mans is out of the question for him probably. But yeah, I mean, I'd be really interested just to see what they're going to do as far as a second car. And who knows, maybe it could just be a second car. I don't know why they'd do this, but a second car just for Daytona. Or a second car just for the endurance rounds.
Yeah, it just depends what they want to do. Like, it's
right.
I mean, they did that. They've done that before. I think when Jimmy Johnson was in that number 48 car during the DPI years, I think it was just an endurance round. So maybe they could do that.
You know
It'd
what?
be a good way
Actually,
to put your
Jimmy's
toe
coming
into it.
back.
That would be cool.
You're on to something, Aries. Jimmy Johnson back to sports car racing.
we get Jimmy in all the series. He comes back to IndyCar. He goes back to NASCAR.
We would not complain on this show about that.
I would not complain.
And then, slightly controversial topic. Obviously, BOP exists to equalize the field, right? To give everybody the opportunity to win. So what's the point of developing a car in the age of BOP? If BOP truly works and creates parity, what is the point of upgrading a car? Because ultimately, I mean, we're seeing it with the old Porsche and the new Porsche this year. Like, the BOP has made the old Porsche faster than the new Porsche. So not that the 2030 regs are going to allow for any Joker updates, Evo packages until 2035, but, anybody who may have been considering an Evo package, it's like, okay, is there really a reason for it?
Reliability, maybe? I think it's the only, it could be one of the most pressing reasons for someone to go after that. Like, maybe I don't know, make the car less fragile if there's any bit of contact that could potentially lead to some kind of failure. Maybe,
Yeah.
it's a something. It's the only thing that I can think of because you're obviously not
Yeah,
in the LMP1 arms race era. So
Mhm.
no. It really, like, basically what you said, it feels more like it's a usage of, like, oh, we've learned about, like, something from our car that needs to be improved because it's a flaw. Let's,
Yeah,
Well,
like,
but I
fix
mean,
that.
ultimately, unless it is something that's going to cause your car to have like a straight mechanical failure, rear wing falling off, engine failure, something like that, an aero upgrade that is going to make the car more efficient. The 2026 963 is aerodynamically more efficient than the 2025 963, but the results wouldn't tell you that because BOP has made the 2025 car just as fast, if not faster, than the 2026 car. So, like, aero upgrades are really out the window, which is the majority of what people are doing with Evo updates. Um, so I'm curious what Aston's update is going to do. Is it going to do anything? You
mhm.
know?
Yeah, like the Valkyrie is it needs work. Like I know they said like the first year they didn't bring any jokers, like because they
Mm-hmm.
said we just need to understand the platform, which is
Yeah.
okay. And they've just like from what we've seen, and we can't see everything that they have on the car, but it looks different. It looks like certain things are different. I know, like for example, with the Corvette, like I know they're bringing an Evo soon, which is like allows them to go
yes,
race to the Nurburgring. So that's kind of why
That's
th-
different, I would
that's
say.
Yeah.
If
different.
you're
Yeah,
if
but
you're if you're bringing a different version of the car so that you can race in other series, I'd say that's it. Like, what Porsche did between last year and this year with the 963 was for race efficiency and nothing else. And I don't understand why anybody would want to do that currently. In GT, I think it's completely different because, yeah, you need specific homologations to be able to run across various series.
I think as well, like we know with the 2030 regs, they're not really going to break. There's going to be no jokers, like unless you can prove to the governing body that we need to do a reliability fix, like that doesn't give any additional performance like that, and that probably we'll see how that works. It won't be like it's not like what Honda, Acura and Honda have said is an arms race in GTP and hypercar that teams are bringing Evos nearly every year, basically, or Jokers every year. Like Peugeot brings one nearly every race.
Yeah.
It's just like and they're bringing
Yep.
it's I agree. Like it's weird seeing the 25 spec Porsche in IMSA doing better than the 26 spec. Um, and I know JDC have said that they want to maybe run a second car, or like in, and they're
Let,
thinking of
let's
keeping the.
be honest, though, and I think Petite will show it. I would put money on the fact that Petite will show it. The only thing that is making JDC competitive, it's not BOP,
It's Lauren Heinrich.
it's Lauren Heinrich. If
Yeah,
Lauren Heinrich was not in that car, they would be finishing last. They would be fighting with the Aston for last place every race. It is Lauren Heinrich is the fastest man in a 963 right now. He is putting Felipe Nasser and Kevin Estra to absolute shame pace wise. And I mean that was shown if you look at the data from Sebring, he was putting Felipe and Kevin to shame on pace. Um, so yeah, it's just I don't know what they think they're going to do next year because Lauren's not going to be in the car. So unless Porsche has someone else they can give to JDC, and I feel like that's going to come with but you're going to have to run the 2026 spec. They're not going to let a customer beat them again.
I
Everybody's acting like they're, oh, Porsche's going to be so happy if JDC. No, they aren't. They do not want to be beat by a customer car. They are not going to be happy if JDC wins the title. That's an embarrassment to Porsche's works team.
but Porsche is like we spent all this money on our Evo update, and we're getting beat by our 2025 spec. like I say there will be negotiations between Porsche and saying if we give you a factory driver that we'll give you some funding, like in exchange we'll be able to give you a like 26 spec. And they said like it's I wouldn't I don't like that if they do have a second car or they run the same car. I know they've said they want to run the 25 spec next year. I think IMSA needs to say
IMSA needs to
sorry,
say no.
say no. Like it's the only car on the grid that's running a previous spec. If say for example Wayne Taylor was running the 25 spec caddy and they were beating the I would say the same. You need to beat IMSA needs, you're the governing body. You need to say it has to be the one car homologation. In a sense, it has to be the same.
I said it and I got torn apart online. You cannot call yourself a top level racing series when you have old models of car. It would be like if the 991 Porsche, like the 911, was running in WEC alongside the 992. WEC would never allow that. So why is IMSA allowing it? It really is an embarrassment to WEC's to IMSA pretending that they are on, because let's be real, IMSA is not on the same level as WEC. And WEC would never allow what IMSA is allowing.
I'll be honest, when I do my race reviews for WEC, I get more attention because it's WEC than IMSA. It's because it's more of a manufacturer pull. There's more manufacturers in WEC, of course. It's more well known. IMSA is known, but everyone says Le Mans, and I would say for IMSA, they're probably thinking how the GTP feel is looking, that they want to try and keep as much cars on the grid as possible.
You lose legitimacy when they're not top.
But also
we have
the Asian Le Mans series where we're gonna have hypercars, and there's rumors that we might have the Peugeot 9X8 running a very old spec Peugeot. So I know Asian Le Mans is a series that has some standard. The driving standards maybe not so much,
right?
But it's the not like it's.
But now we're literally, Asian Le Mans series is literally a feeder series for WEC. If you win ALMS, you get a spot at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That is not the situation that IMSA has. IMSA is not a WEC feeder series. So having lower standards than WEC and then claiming that you're on the same level as WEC is just it's disingenuous, and it frustrates me because I want to see IMSA be the best racing series in the world. I love IMSA, but they're kind of embarrassing right now. They're embarrassing themselves.
Yeah, I would get it, 1 year of it. I still agree that we shouldn't be allowing it, but I get I can see it being 1 year exception. It's makes it even worse when it's oh, let's just continue to let it keep going for more than 1 year. At least 1 year, it's bad, but it doesn't feel quite as terrible as oh, let's just keep letting this old car just keep going.
Yeah, and also the thing is they're kind of between a rock and a hard place right now, because we're losing 2 GTPs next year because Acura is saying adieu, they're leaving. So, and we're not getting anybody to replace them, essentially. Okay, we could get the second Action Express caddy, but we're not even sure if that's going to be full season or not. So they're full of question marks over whether more people might leave or not. I've seen some people talking on the timeline, on Twitter timeline, that we could have that. Obviously now we know it's not going to happen, but some people were saying that we could have a single PPM 963 alongside the single GDC car, so that could have been another car we could have lost. So,
I mean, honestly, I'm not counting anything out from PPM because at this point last year, they were still saying they'd be in WEC this year. So their announcement that they will be in IMSA next year, they have one announced full season driver for IMSA next year and one announced endurance driver for IMSA next year. it is only Lauren Heinrich and Lawrence Vantor that have been announced for seats at Porsche Penske Motorsport next year. That's not the most reassuring thing when you take into account the history of this team and pulling the plug last minute. You know?
And
Would like to see at this point, I mean, you've got Kevin out there saying, I will be back at this team next year, but he's not been formally announced. We don't know in what capacity he's going to be back at that team next year. We don't know we know Matt Campbell is not going to be there.
Definitely not.
And we don't have any firm statements on Nasser and Lauer. So, what is that team right now? It's questionable.
I know exactly what that team is. You know the Will Smith meme of like, have you got any, like, are you still in IMSA?
Yes.
And you were like, no, but we've got special liveries.
Yes. Special liveries.
Oh,
that's so true, though.
Special liveries.
But that just looks like a slice of cheese.
Where's the not special
Don't
livery?
make me hungry.
Hold on. I'm just showing off liveries. Yeah.
Random pieces of livery.
I mean, that's what it is. It's just I got a bunch of livery.
It's a yard sale. The PPM should do a yard sale. Like if you pay so many dollars, whatever, you can save a 963 from being scrapped.
Porsche will not let them give away pieces of the car. Trust me, I've asked.
No.
They don't want the tracing point instant where we have someone turn up on 963.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, weren't we just going on about Spygate?
Right? This is really like it lost the poll, but this is really the coolest thing that I own. Like, yeah, the Dixon suit is really cool. The like various hats and stuff are cool. This is Kevin and Larry's names off the actual car that they raced at Watkins Glen that I got both of them to sign. Like, yeah, I don't know that anything's quite cooler than that. Have I shown off my new artwork yet? I mean, I know I showed it off on the internet, but have I shown my new artwork?
You finally got it? You posted it.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
This is colored pencil. It looks like photos, but it's colored pencil. It's Kevin's 2 overall 24-hour wins, so Nürburgring and Spa, and then the class win at Le Mans, and then my favorite win of Kevin's, and then his definitely not legal hyperpole lap at Le Mans in 2024. It wasn't, he definitely did a track limits, but it's a cool picture, so... And it makes me laugh that I have that, like, that I commissioned a piece and put that on it.
Aries, take a drink. She brought up the hyperpole again.
I need one. My throat's feeling scratchy. Thank you for it.
Okay, he absolutely went outside track limits in that lap. I don't care.
Aries, just keep drinking. Aries, just keep drinking.
Down the whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, Aries, you said we talked about Spygate. Spygate is not okay, but Spygate is okay when I'm not involved.
That's very nuanced.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's that famous line we've probably heard. We probably know where we heard that. We're not saying you should do that. We're just saying you can do that.
Yeah, basically.
So more IMSA stuff. VIR was this weekend. It was as it is, just GTs, which is they didn't do any better than the full field does driving standards wise, I don't really think.
Pratt Miller Airlines had their maiden flight this weekend.
Which, to be fair, that was just Sims kind of getting offline and losing the car. That wasn't really driving standards. I could have had, like, that was kind of a
No, no.
his
Sims just was just mesmerized by the aura of Rexy. It's just like
yes,
Yes.
he saw Rexy from Rexy's rear end and said, I am so mesmerized by this."
Or the 3 was possessed by the 4, which is usually in the fights with Rexy, and was like, I gotta get out of this right
Yeah.
now, and just yeeted itself.
Well, and then Rexy got into it with Paul Miller BMW, and then Rexy got into it with Vassar Sullivan.
Basically,
Rexy was just in the thick of it.
any team that had like 2 names within the name, Rexy did have a fight with.
Have a Roxy. It's kind of like
I
a
have-
Roxy. I mean, I have a
NBC
Rexy. It's just like way over there. So
There's sketchy.
nice.
Close enough-ish.
Yeah, but no, VIR was kind of, I think, what everyone expected.
Yeah, I feel like
I only watched lap 1. I didn't. I saw the Corvette. Not even lap 1. I saw the Corvette do the 180, and I said, I'm going back to doing something else. But
Yeah.
no, the only proper thing I watched this week was Mazdas.
Yeah.
Little bumblebees. Love those
Yeah.
guys.
We love them. I feel like for me, the most exciting thing from like VIR was like, I think when it came to pole, just like any team that apparently isn't returning to the series, VIR was like, we must give them pole. Because they were like, we will give Pafaf pole and we will give Dragon Speed pole. And it was like recently announced Dragon Speed is going to be no more after this year. Pafaf we already knew isn't going to be any more after this year. So they really, VIR had a thing about loving teams that are leaving.
Yeah, I would say it's ironic that they're doing well with a car whose first year has been somewhat troubled. But something I found funny is we know that the Temerario had 2 maiden wins in the DTM, and both of them were disqualified, and now it's won 2 in a row in IMSA.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
Maybe
making
that's
up
what it
for it.
needs. Like,
It
it
is.
needs it to not do well anywhere else for it to do well in IMSA.
I mean,
Well, it's-
I've been screaming it all year in our group chats, and nobody really wants to listen to me about it. FAF knew that it was going to be slow at the beginning, but they were extremely confident at Sebring that they were going to win races this year.
Yeah, when we literally were talking to them at Sebring, like, all they could talk about was, like, wins are coming. Like, we will get wins with this car.
It wasn't that, like, empty, like, bravado that I think a lot of, every driver's gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna win a race.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. It felt like they were saying, we have a program in place that we believe by the end of the season will have delivered us wins. And it has. And, everybody that was there saying, oh, this car's stupid, why did they switch to it? Like, this is why they switched to it. It takes a minute to develop a brand new car. And next year they're going to have, all of Super Trofeos switching to it. So they're going to have a lot more data on.
And as well, they brought brake updates
Yeah.
as well. It's not a joker, but it's just something, just reliability.
Right.
And they
Yeah,
have
a
said
safety upgrade.
and they
Yeah.
said that it's like the driver said it's much better. They feel like they can brake later
Right.
on it, and it's helped drivability. But yeah, Temerario, it's ironic that it's doing well when it's going out next year. Maybe it's like the Temerario is like saying to Faf, please let us stay next year. But
I think Wayne Taylor's probably going to jump. If I had to guess, they'll jump up into GTD Pro and take over the FAF program because they're in GTD Normal right now with the Hurricane. So
like they probably will be the favorite. Like Riley maybe as well. Like because they have Lamborghini. Like I know they're running a Ford Mustang at the moment, but. Like if they want to run a Temerario as a customer, even it just depends really what they want to do. But yeah,
it
Wayne
wouldn't
Taylor,
surprise me.
Yeah.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of Riley as a potential service provider.
Yeah.
Riley
I
is
feel
just
like
one
I
of
just
those.
locked in on Wayne Taylor because they're running the
Same.
Hurricanes, so I was like, yeah, they're obviously gonna do it.
Yeah, but Riley, it just feels like
Paul Miller's
you
still an
can
option
never
too.
count them out. Like Riley,
Yeah.
just I feel like is always just there in the background, just like a
Mhm.
possibility for
Yeah.
anything.
Paul Miller's also ran Lambos in the past, so I also thought maybe there's a reunion coming, but we'll see.
Right.
Just depends if Paul Miller's still around next year.
Yeah, well, we were a while ago. We were on about how IMSA has not been it regarding standards recently. But one thing is driving standards, the other thing is officiating, and well, there were some news out today that they are apparently looking forward to entering the 21st century and adopting a VSC style system, so the races are not as broken up by the amount of full course yellows that they usually have.
See,
Yeah.
still not sure that they're actually looking at a VSC system. I think they're looking at local yellows. Honestly,
Yeah.
from reading the article, it was a sensationalist clickbait headline, as to be expected from that outlet,
Yes.
Sportscar 365. I have no issues with just calling them out. Because in the article itself, it even said, we don't think we're gonna do VSC. What I will say is the only thing differentiating WEC and IMSA right now is the ability to get laps back. So if you remove that ability, you remove the competitive racing that I think characterizes IMSA and separates IMSA from WEC. Because every IMSA race is competitive to the very end, because everyone is basically on the lead lap. And you aren't gonna have that if you're not constantly rebunching the field and letting everyone get back on the lead lap. I can't stand the constant safety cars and how long they run under yellow, but it does keep it close to the end, and changing that fundamentally changes what IMSA is as a series. And I said this to somebody today, probably one of the three of you. I think it removes what makes IMSA fundamentally American.
Yeah. I also think we have to remember IMSA's connection to NASCAR.
Yep.
No.
And like the way NASCAR does things.
Yep.
Ironically, didn't they just say a couple of weeks ago after Indianapolis, I think, that they're looking to minimize the amount of time that side of their little kingdom spends time under yellow flags. So
So it's
Right.
also ironic that WEC had implemented overtime before IMSA did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we sort of touched on silly season earlier when we were talking about Action Express, but it sounds maybe like, and we talked about this last week, that Alpine is going to get taken over by Geely, one of their brands, Volvo Racing. Here we go.
Let's go.
That could be somewhere for people to end up. We, I guess, know that a bunch of people aren't going to be in a bunch of seats next year, and one of those, I think, is Antonio Felix da Costa is not coming back to Alpine. So that's a seat that will be available in potentially a competitive team. It'll be interesting to see who goes there.
I thought he was going to Caddy, or was that just a rumor?
Yeah, so that's the thing, is
Yeah.
it is still just a rumor at this point.
Yeah.
Like, Joda have not announced, nor has Seb Bourdais announced that he is leaving the team.
Yeah.
Alex Lynn has not announced that he is leaving the team, nor has Joda announced. Everyone's putting people in those seats, and those seats are not technically available. I mean, same thing with Mike Conway and Kevin Estra. Like, Mike Conway has not said he's leaving Toyota, and everybody has already put Kevin in his seat. there's a lot of movement that I think everybody agrees is happening, but like hasn't been announced yet. So like, who knows? Dak could still be at Alpine next year, or Geely, or Volvo.
Like there wasn't there the rumor that like at the start that like Scene and Tech Alpine were like, we're not going to release or tell their drivers that they can look for other seats
Yes.
until we know the certainty of the team, and which
Mhm.
was like at the time like thinking it's a bit harsh on the drivers that you're like not letting them look elsewhere.
Right.
But like I know like wasn't it DeCoster, he's been at Josa before, hasn't he?
Mhm. Yes.
So he'd
Yeah.
be more of a Josa driver going in. Like he won't be a Cadillac driver. Like depends if Cadillac want to make him a factory. Depends.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or he's more like Norman Nato, who has the history with Joda.
Yeah.
Or Stevens even like.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
Yeah.
It's-
Stevens though is a weird one because like he even still does like caddy stuff
Yeah,
without
he does
Joda,
Wayne
so like
Taylor.
he's a weird one.
Yeah, he goes
Yeah.
he goes over to do Daytona with Wayne
Yeah.
Taylor sometimes, but it's not like he's not. I think he was the endurance driver last year, wasn't he? I think
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
but now because Colton's in and who's the other driver? Colton and who's the other endurance driver for Wayne Taylor? Can't
To even tell you which of the Taylors is in which Wayne
Yeah, I
Taylor
can't
car.
either, to be
No,
honest
no.
with you.
So,
One
Wayne
second, as
I have a when I do my race reviews, I always get the 10 and the 40 mixed up.
we
when
do
I'm doing-
too.
we do too.
I know they're
Which-
different colors, but like it's just like I kind of I always think the 10 is the 40 and the 40 is
So
the 10.
Yeah.
which one of them won Road America,
I think it was the blue one. It was the
or
10.
was it the 10?
Okay, so I looked it up.
Yes.
It is Will Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Okay, oh, he is okay. Sorry, Will. Will, if I see you at Barcelona, please,
This
I was
please
like,
shows
wait.
the
don't.
little attention we pay to Wayne Taylor Racing.
But also, I was like, I feel like it still is Will. But you had me
Yeah.
second guessing myself. I
Yeah,
was
like,
like, is
I
it
just
not
know-
Will?
I
And I'm
know
just imagining him being there.
Colton's the wait. Who won Road America again? The 10 or the 40?
The
Oh,
10.
Ricky won.
Ricky won
It was
the
the 10, which is the
Which
one that Will
car is
Stevens
that?
is in.
Okay.
Okay, and Hurt is in the 40. Yeah.
See, none
And
of us
Colton's
know
in the
this.
party.
This is great. I will say the only reason I was a Cadillac fan when I was a Cadillac fan is because Chip Ganassi Racing was running the Cadillac. And I like them, and I don't like Penske, so I was temporarily not supporting PPM during that time, and then
That
Chip
ended
Ganassi
well.
Racing left. So yeah, yes, look here, see my pieces of
Soon both may not have a program.
I
anymore.
know. Neither of them will have a program, which is fantastic because it allows me to not have to support IndyCar teams in IMSA. I can just support drivers, which is fantastic.
So, Nicole, you will become an Action Express Racing fan soon.
That's what happened
I
to
mean-
me.
Yeah, if everybody else is gone and like Kevin isn't doing IMSA and Lauren Heinrich isn't doing IMSA, then yeah, wherever Earl is will be my team.
You will just become. This will become with Orange Flag Podcast will just become propaganda for Cadillac soon. It's written in the stars. It's just soon the wheel and flag will be hung up. It will just be.
Okay, but is it though? Because, like, I'm a diehard GM fan and Ford is taking me. So, like, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if
You'll always-
if neither of my top two drivers, who are, at least as it stands right now, Porsche factory drivers, are in IMSA, then I start going through my other drivers that I like, and Earl and Larry lead that list, so, you know, McLaren's not showing up anytime soon, so it'll be Earl. If
Yeah.
PPM actually leaves for 2028, McLaren's not going to be there for 2028. Yeah, I fully see myself supporting wherever Earl Bamber is racing.
Austin, you said you won't. If Ford is taking you from Cadillac, but remember, when Ford breaks down, Cadillac will be still going strong.
You don't know that. You never know.
Look at
The
what
one
happened
thing
to
you-
the 38
Okay.
at Le Mans this year. That wasn't very going strong.
That wasn't a
of it.
caddy problem. That was a steering issue.
Which is still a caddy problem.
Wasn't the engine? The engine did not
Okay,
fit.
but like your better excuse to use is no matter what, at the end of the day, I still drive a Chevy every day in my normal.
I will say my big silly season situation, which is probably like not for next year, but a few years down the road, could be for next year. Max Verstappen signed a sizable contract extension with Red Bull, who are Ford's, factory Formula One effort. Ford is getting into WEC as a hypercar outfit.
Yes.
How does this impact Danny Juncadella and Jules Gounon? If Max has to or wants to move to a Mustang for his GT3 cars, will Gounon and Juncadella be able to remain with him? I mean, I don't think that Gounon will be able to. He is a Mercedes factory driver. Unless Ford is going to give him the exact same program he has right now, which they won't, he will not be leaving Mercedes. I think Juncadella has more freedom because he's not really a factory driver for a GT team.
Yeah, I think Danny, until the Genesis GT3 rocks up, then they would want him in the car because he's the face of he's one of the main drivers of the hypercar. Danny's, it's interesting. I could see him, I don't know, I think he'll stay wherever, it depends, does he want to stay in Verstappen racing? It's great to be racing with Max.
The answer is yes, because it makes him famous.
I was gonna say,
he absolutely loves being famous, and being Max Verstappen's teammate has made him so famous. There's no way he steps off of Max's coattails.
I think also, Danny is also a very interesting one. Also, I think for me, it's very obvious where his alliance is to, and it's to Verstappen Racing, because he had the opportunity to still be driving a Chevy if he wanted to be right now. And he's not driving a Chevy right now. They left him leaving very open-ended of if he wanted to come back to a Chevy, he has the possibility of coming back to a Chevy, and he's not in a Chevy. So I feel like for me, that kind of is telling of where his alliances are. It's not the car he drove for a hot minute, it's to a specific team.
I had a conversation, we were having just a chat about what Verstappen Racing wants to do, because Max signed his contract. We heard he was getting all this 92 million euros or whatever. I was saying 50 million, that's going to Verstappen Racing, make them a hypercar team. I was maybe Verstappen Racing becomes an Asia Le Mans Ford team.
Honestly, wouldn't be shocked if, not next year, because they're still going to be really new, but down the road, Ford runs a third car for Le Mans under Verstappen Racing. It wouldn't shock me. Max has said he wants to do Le Mans. The problem is, who does he have to put in the car, because his hypercar level teammates are hypercar drivers elsewhere, unless they end up at Ford, because I don't know how long-term Ford's, or at least half of Ford's lineup is. I think that the three more recently announced drivers are a very solid, hypercar. Not saying that I think the lineups are going to be the new guys and the old guys, but if they were, the new guys lineup clears the old guys lineup by miles.
The old guys lineup, it really felt when they first initially announced it, Mike is not going to be long-term. He's not long-term in that.
Oh, definitely.
No, depends on how Logan does. Logan might not be long-term.
And Logan really felt we kind of announced him a little too soon before we realized what was on the market.
Logan was going to be in that car no matter what. Seb Priel was going to be in that car no matter what. The problem is neither of them have driven that level before. So they could both flop next year. And then I don't think anyone's expecting anything out of Rocky, but I mean, I think everyone fully expects, Nick Yellowy, Matt Campbell, and Tom Blomqvist to hit the ground running and be as competitive as the car can be.
I think Rocky is more there just to develop the car. Like you saw,
without a doubt.
Yeah, it's like you saw what he did with the NASCAR Cup car.
Yes,
like, for
exactly.
Like he was one
if
of the main drivers.
Haven't watched that documentary, watch it because it will absolutely make sense to you why Ford has him on this program.
Oh yeah.
Going on that documentary, I wish that documentary was longer.
Me too.
It felt too short.
Yeah.
Too short.
Yeah.
But like with Ford, like I know what Le Mans is like. Le Mans are very like it's invite only. You have to like they don't like having like they would love like how I say it. It's like if I don't think controversially I don't think the ACO would like bend the rules for Max like the Nürburgring did. I think they would be very stubborn in a way that they would want to say it has to be invite and we have to let you. Yes, they would love him in the race. But it's
I mean, if he applies and there's space, he is a platinum rated driver.
Oh, he is.
If he teams up with two other platinum rated drivers in a car that is running 2 full-time entries in the World Endurance Championship, is there anything preventing him from running? There isn't. Wayne Taylor was in last year and they weren't in because they won IMSA, they were in because there was space. And they had drivers that met the criteria and they had a car that met the criteria.
It just depends how much space is in the
without a doubt, yeah.
Because like especially like it looks like with Ford, McLaren, if Alpine stays, if anyone else joins, that we could have a situation where like say Cadillac wants to bring a car over. It might just be one car because they don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
They can't bring like it just depends because I don't think
extra entries may be gone.
Yeah, unless like WEC want to reduce the LMP field, but even that like they have spaces from ELMS and IMSA and Asian Le Mans, or if they want to reduce the
I think they'll reduce GT3 before they reduce LMP2.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because they'll have to reduce full season. With the hypercar grid being as big as it is, I could see it going to, controversially, single car entries for brands in WEC LMGT3 instead of running 2 cars. Because, I mean, let's just say Porsche does come back in 2030 and the whole projected grid stays the same, you can't run a full GT field. Who do you kick out? You're not just going to start kicking out teams. So
does WEC also decide to get rid of the bronze drivers and say we just want they just want silvers and golds in a sense that get rid of the if we're doing single cars, there's no point having a bronze in the car. Like who's paying? Like I know like it's kind of like pay driver like that, but like it's like because especially how WEC want to have a 2 mandatory entries from each manufacturer in GTP in like hypercar.
Yeah,
they're not going to like. I don't think for the next regs they're going to say like we want single cars. We at least want like 2 cars. Now that's going to probably stop customer teams because of running 2 cars is. But it's just interesting, and as well we're going to have Asian Le Mans. We're going to have an extra a Pro-Am hypercar coming as well. So
I think they've said that is not going to be allowed to run Le Mans.
Yeah,
haven't they?
I feel like they have.
Yeah. I think they said it's either going to be like an LMP2. You can have an LMP2 entry instead.
Well, that would make sense. Or like
you get GT. Or they said I think you can have the hypercar, but you have to get like a pro lineup.
Yeah,
that would be.
It was like you'll get an entry of some form, and it's up to you of how you want to adapt it.
I don't like that because we saw what they did with AO Racing this year. They did not allow PJ to run extra cars. Like he had multiple entries that he had won to the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and he said, well, I don't have a second bronze driver, so I can't do another LMP2 Pro-Am. Like, which was what he technically won the 2 spots, was LMP2 Pro-Am. He's like, I can't do that
I bring
but
Rexy instead. Like what they
but
said.
can I bring Rexy? And because there are a lot of bronze Porsche drivers that he could throw into a 911 GT3R. There are not a lot of bronze drivers that he feels comfortable throwing into an LMP2. So, and the ACO said no, absolutely not. So, like, I don't know that I love them not allowing him to do that, but then being like, oh yeah, you can go into whatever class you want with your. I think that the Pro-Am Hypercar needs to just be an ALMS thing. It needs to stay there. It needs to
Yeah.
have nothing to do with the 24 Hours of Le Mans. All right, well, Rory, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I want to give you an opportunity to plug your social media so everyone knows how to follow you.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, where I'm most known for at Rory Talks Motorsport. I'm also on the Random Weck memes on Twitter, and also we have an Instagram, the same title. I do have a Twitter. I just use it for DMs and likes and getting news. So it's Rory Talks F1, but I don't really post much on it. It's more on the Random Weck memes. So yeah, that's me.
All right, well, thanks, Rory, for being on, and thank you for listening. You can find us, the rest of us, on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Orange Flag Pod. Nicole is at Nicole on Racing, Austin is at Austin Trackside, and Aries is at Aries_Alpenglow.
Stay orange.